Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 2 of our podcast. We got Quantum here, you've got me, we've got some great topics to talk about. If you haven't watched part 1 of this, go ahead and head on over to Quantum's channel. Watch part 1, had a great conversation about a lot of things, about the roadmap, about tier lists, about variants and stuff. So very cool conversation over there. Definitely check it out. Also, one thing I want to reiterate on this channel that we also reiterated at the beginning of the last channel, we're still coming up with a name. So thank you so much to all of you that submitted suggestions. They're great. We're going to go one more round, ask for some more suggestions. And then by the next time, the next episode of our podcast, we're going to go ahead and have a name for you. It's going to be fun. So thank you all. Quantum, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. We got warmed up talking about a lot of characters. We spent way too much time on the tier list as usual, which is I'm perfectly fine with that being a running joke for the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to some of those comments on the name. Obviously, we are slow rolling that. We realize it, but we want to make sure that it's something that both we like and the community likes, because we hope to be doing this for a long time. But very excited about part 2 of the podcast today.
Yeah, me too. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So we ended your video. So we ended part 1 talking about the Q4 and Q3. I swapped those around. See what I did? Roadmap, where we were talking about the variants and some of the updates that are coming up. Let's talk about some of the game modes. So the update timeline that we discussed in part 1 is new, which is very, very cool. The game mode piece we've seen for the last couple roadmaps. And just kind of running through this, we got the Ultimate Battle for Gotham coming up, which I think, isn't that a new name? Because it was something, I think they said it was something, was it the, what was it, the Battle Royale before?
I think that's the Crisis in Time.
Oh, okay. Gotcha, I think you're right. So we got this Ultimate Battle for Gotham. Actually, I'm going to head on over to their notes over here. And what they have here is it says, unite with leagues from other Earths, and face rival Earths for ultimate glory. So this is a server versus server, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think it's a server versus server battle for Gotham. So if you weren't already having fun with the 3-hour long monthly Battle for Gotham, get ready for presumably another, I guess, 3-hour long event. I hope it's not anything more than that. These old joints can barely do
these old joints.
I don't have the reflexes for more than 3 hours of this, but I think it's going to be it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot more bragging rights at stake now.
So let me ask, what do you think? Do you think that we're going to have 2 Gotham Wars, or do you think that the existing Gotham War that we have now may transition into this server versus server Gotham War?
Well, that's a good question. I will tell you, and I think I made a video talking a little bit about the roadmap and my thoughts on this, but I really think that the Battle for Gotham has caused a little bit of strife in a few servers.
Yeah.
At server 204, it wasn't too bad. I mean, like, there are some healthy and also some unhealthy rivalries in 204 right now.
Right.
But I know you guys are very competitive with my league as well in Battle for Gotham, and there are some like healthy things going on, but it's created maybe some trash talk and things like that. But what I want to see, what I think we'll see from this Ultimate Battle for Gotham, is the server coming together and saying, hey, like, we're going to have to work together, put our differences aside so that we can beat the other servers. So it's I don't know if they're going to run two of them. Like, obviously they're not going to do 2 in the same week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm curious on that one. I don't know.
Yeah. I would welcome them retiring the current iteration of it and moving to a server versus server. I think I like that thought and that format much better than because these servers, and without server merges, these servers are become, I don't want to say empty, but you can definitely tell that the number of active alliances or leagues has dropped significantly. So
drastically. Yeah.
So I think the server versus server Gotham War makes so much more sense.
Yeah, it does, because we're like basically to put us into clusters or like server clusters. Like, okay, here these 10 clusters are servers are going to battle against each other. These 10, etc. Would make a lot more sense because I mean even the top 8 leagues in server 204,
Yeah.
I think there are a handful that aren't really competitive.
Yeah.
It's really kind of the top 4 and then whatever's left over. And so it makes a lot more sense to make sure that you're getting a healthy concentration of players,
Yeah.
invested in these big events, because this is like the battle, like the monthly event,
Yeah.
that they want to kind of like, I guess, center everything around. So I agree with that. Not to go into a conversation about the server mergers, but they said it was coming like late July, early August. I'm guessing that got pushed back a little bit, but they're going to do like migrations for new players. They're going to do migrations for older players, and then they're going to do like the actual merger. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, especially if we're going to do this ultimate battle for Gotham, like getting to meet some new players and some new leagues, and then having to work with those people really quickly to come together as a group will be really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And, yeah, and even with the active leagues, I mean, so just taking like our server 204. So you're in the number 1 league, I'm in the number 2 league. We've got 3 and 4s there with some very active people. But even when you take a look at the full 100, members of each league, the active members actually participating in like Gotham War is decreasing as well.
It is. It is. Yeah. I don't know how, because I'm like the worst player at this game, but like I was in the top 10 of like players participating in Gotham War the last time, which I think some of that has to do with like just being on the right squads. Like if your squad does well, if you got some whales in it, and you're joining the right battles in the game, you're going to get more points. But, for the most part, like I'm just like very interested in like, it seems like maybe 10 to 15 people from each league are participating in Gotham War. And it's an interesting dynamic for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't mean to hammer in on just how these events we're seeing less and less participation. I think also on the flip side, they're trying to do things to re-engage players into the content. So maybe that's what happened with Ultimate Gotham War. So very interested to see if and when that not if, but when it comes out. Well, I'll say if, because we've had Battle Royale on here for a while, which is now Crisis in Time, but and it keeps moving to the right. So we'll see when these come out. One thing also just to keep in mind around these roadmaps is what they publish. Just it's subject to change. Names change. Maybe the launch time changes, or maybe it's just something they decide to scrap altogether. So just when we talk about these roadmaps, keep those in mind. Next is the new storyline. And what they put in here, new storyline, a fresh arc packed with twists, turns, and iconic showdowns. So I'm here for more story, especially since what we heard is that the new story going forward is going to be similar to what we experienced with the Wonder Woman Ascension, which is what we experienced in the original landscape version of this game, where you're running around the world and you're collecting collectibles and you're doing missions and fighting in battles out there. And I think that's what a lot of people missed about landscape. Yeah. And they're bringing it back in kind of this way, it seems. What do you think about that?
I'm really excited about the new main storyline being an overworld storyline. One of the things that I appreciated about like AFK Journey, for example, incredible overworld. Oh, and I'll also say Kaller. I think was a really the King Arthur Legends Rise. Had really good overworld kind of story that you could follow if you care about nerding out to that. But also just like I think instead of just having all the rewards just sent to your account, you just click a couple of buttons, do a couple of fights, and you get all the rewards. Having to like go and click on them, it just feels more impactful, more fun, more engaging. And I hope that they add more types of rewards that you can earn, like the new memento system that's in the game. Maybe we'll talk about that at some point before the end of this video in more detail. But like the new memento system, maybe if we get some mementos as part of the storyline would be really cool as well. But yeah, super excited about the storyline, especially the overworld aspect of it.
Yeah, I've always loved the overworld component of games as long as they're done well. I just love the exploration. It immerses the player into the world rather than it just be a UI game, right?
Yeah.
You're actually being pulled into that world.
Well, we've talked about this before, and you and I both have experienced the landscape version of the overworld, which was it was very, I would say, daunting, but there was a lot to complete.
Yeah.
And like obviously for someone who just wants to come in and do a little along, like it was enough to keep you engaged.
Right.
But most people just didn't do it because it was so involved, like to try to complete 100% of each one of the maps. Doing the story mode this way, where you're engaged in the story, there's like a, defined, beginning and end. And like, you kind of like, you're going to get like 90 to 100% of the things done if you do the story.
Yeah.
I think it's just a better way of storytelling in general. And, something that people actually want to do. So.
Yep, I agree. And there's feedback that has been given on that. And again, I know I say it, and but I appreciate how this team takes feedback and acts on what they can, because obviously they can't act on everything, but they definitely do what they can, and we're seeing some good stuff because of it.
Well, despite some of the popular outrage at a few decisions that have been made over the last few months, we have a responsive dev team.
Yeah.
They're really good at taking feedback and eventually implementing things over time. If you take it day by day, you're going to get frustrated because sometimes they don't listen to the thing that you're the most outraged at that day. But if you go back, like you said, the game has been out global launch for 4 months. If you go back 4 months, you'll see an incredibly different game than when we started out with. And if you go back to the soft launch of the game back in November of 2024 to now, it's just a completely like polar opposite different game. Like we have a complete game right now. So kudos to the devs on that. I'll give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, and we'll be critical, just so you all know too. We'll be critical where critical is needed, and I think we're going to get to probably a little bit of that because I got some strong opinions on something that's coming up, and we got a little bit into it in Gotham War. But so yeah, new storyline. Very excited for that. Next, we've got Crisis in Time. I've been very excited about the thought or what the devs may do with a battle royale type game mode. So I don't know if it's still a battle royale format. Let's see, what does it say? An innovative strategic PvP mode with an authentic comic storyline to uncover. The fact that they're incorporating some sort of storyline, a comic storyline in there. It's a comic game, going to get a comic storyline, but you know what I mean. A storyline. I think that's very cool, very interesting. I don't know that I've seen in any game PvP combined with story. Have you?
Yeah, I haven't either. I'm very intrigued on that one. I'm kind of confused actually. But yeah, I don't know exactly how that's going to work. Do you know how the Battle Royale worked in like State of Survival or any of those other like 4X games?
No, and that's a good point though too, because a lot of what we see done here are things that they have done in other games, like the train.
Yeah.
The train. What's it?
Well, Battle for Gotham obviously is and Krypton Rush I think were both kind of taken from
other games too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I watched some video of a battle royale from State of Survival, and it felt kind of like Guardian Challenge does, where basically there's an overworld map, and you have like your ship, and you can go around. Like it's different because basically there's a bunch of objectives on the map, like houses and things you can go into, and you go and like raid that house. But the interesting thing about it is that other players can go to that house too and kind of knock you out. So there's, I think, like hideaways, like there's basically mechanics for non-whales, non-spenders to be able to do well in the event, but essentially the winners are going to be spenders. And I think part of the reason why they scrapped the original plans there and changed the name is like they didn't want to upset the player base by introducing something like that when we already have Battle for Gotham and Guardian Challenge. So I really hope that what we see is just a completely different game mode.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be one where we're able to control the champions or not, you know. It's one of the reasons why I don't like Meta Brawl at all. Like I just skip Meta Brawl every day. Like I do the attempts and just kind of like walk away from it.
Yeah.
But like this one, I really hope it's more engaging.
Yeah, me too, definitely. Yeah, I don't have much more on that. The next one is Krypton Rush Tournament. Now, this one is interesting in the way that, so this was previously, if you've seen previous roadmaps, it was called Cross Server Tournament. Now it's called Krypton Rush Tournament, and it's the strongest leagues face off in a massive bracket to crown the true champion. So it seems like it's essentially a winner's bracket battle, which, that's cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Krypton Rush has been a successful
I think so.
weekly event. It's obviously there's the elephant in the room is that some people don't get to participate.
Yeah.
But you know what I've also noticed is there's a lack of participation in the mode too. And in our league, the way we set it up is people can choose, like if you sign up, you have to go into Discord and let the R4s and R5 know, hey, I want to participate and I want to be a starter or I want to be a alternate. And typically we definitely fill up and there are people who get left out and we kind of bring them in the next time. So because Krypton Rush is set up where it match makes based on the people who are actually signed up and not your whole league.
Yeah.
It's pretty fair.
I think so.
We've had some really close battles in Krypton Rush recently. So I'm all for it. I love tournament style modes. Like I love Grand Arena Championship in Swago, and I want to see more stuff where like you can fight against people and like there's a bracket to it. So
yeah, 100%. Me too. And we do something similar. So we put out a poll, and anybody who wants to participate, you let us know if you want to be a substitute or if you want to be a primary. And then unless that changes, we stick with that. And even at that, we don't always get full participation of people who signed up, but we've been pretty successful in Rush. We haven't gone up against you guys yet. I'm looking forward to that, but
that would be fun.
That would be fun.
We got put against the same league like 5 or 6 times in a row.
Oh, really?
Like it's I don't know how many times it's gone. It feels like 5 or 6 times in a row. But they started matching us against other teams the last couple of times. So I would love to go against you guys.
Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, finally. That was the finally on the roadmap. So that wraps up the roadmap. I think we got some very exciting stuff coming up and to keep an eye on in the coming months. So tons of content, which also means we're making tons of content for all of you. So definitely let us know your thoughts on what you want to see. Next topic, Supreme Commander League Mobilization. So I first want to talk about League Mobilization before getting into Supreme Commander. I was pretty vocal. I'm not really a fan of League Mobilization. I'm not really a fan. Actually, I'm not really a fan of any game mode that forces you to hoard stuff, right? Yeah. League Mobilization is that way. Supreme Commander is that way as well. But I think one of my issues with League Mobilization is it's easy to forget. You have to go in, you got to select the mission, you got to go do it, and then you got to come back. I have seen that in other games, but it's not something that I've really enjoyed. And it was just announced that they're going to retire League Mobilization and they're going to think of something new. So I think them retiring it, probably the data's coming back that is saying that people just aren't doing much there.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they were doing much to begin with. That the new revamped reward system was definitely probably helped. Mm-hmm. It brought me in. Ever since they revamped the rewards, I've been trying to do my League Mobilization in conjunction with Supreme Commander as much as possible. You get a ton of extra rewards when you do it that way, especially if you're in an active league, you're going to get a lot more. So it makes sense. Like they go together, but I am very happy with this change. I don't
Yeah.
know what's coming for Supreme Commander. Obviously, Wolf put out a statement a couple of days ago about this and kind of like what's coming. I think he said like the new Supreme Commander, there's going to be like multiple modes, right?
Yeah, so I think what he mentioned over here, he said there's major updates coming soon for Supreme Commander. Two exciting new ways to play: League Duel, which is interesting, and then also Tournament. There's more that he put in here. I'll put it up on screen for you guys to take a look at. But there's some changes coming.
Yeah, no. So I I suspect that Supreme Commander is not going away. Like I think we're still going to have like there's still going to be a hoarding element to whatever is coming. To there's still going to be a hoarding element to whatever is coming, but I think it with League Mobilization being out of it and there being more of a focus on the PvP side of things,
Yeah,
I think it's going to be it's a welcome change for
yeah,
sure. And we'll obviously you and I will both probably be putting out videos to cover it as soon as the update happens.
right.
Yeah, I don't know if it's coming like next week or next month, but keep doing your League Mobilization and Supreme Commander for now, and we'll see what comes of this.
Yeah, yeah. He also mentioned in here themed daily missions to earn points for the league. So,
Yeah,
I mean, we're doing daily missions. Well, league mobilization, yeah, yeah, that was a league versus league thing anyway. So we were gaining points for the league through that anyway. So it'll be
yeah,
interesting. And he says awesome rewards. One thing I think this game could improve on are the rewards, and I know that in some game modes they are improving the rewards. So I like seeing that.
yeah.
So I'm interested to see what kind of rewards that they're going to give us in Supreme Commander.
Yeah, and to your point on just like things we kind of dislike, I don't like Checkmate Crisis either. I think like Checkmate Crisis is another thing that can kind of be lumped in with League
Mm,
Mobilization is like it just doesn't need to exist. It's funny that it's like they try to like pit you against another league to gain points,
right.
but it really just ends up being a well fest, like who can spend the most money,
Yeah.
because that's really all you're doing is spending money to to pull more champions or use more anvils or whatever
Yeah.
else. Taking those things away and giving us like, you know, I guess just like a different way or just one mode that encompasses all that would be
Yeah.
less of a headache. And I'm sure the R4s would appreciate that because they're the ones having to do all the work and stuff like Checkmate Crisis. But
Yep.
um, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's really a set it and forget it type mode. You just set your
yeah,
teams and then you kind of go about the rest of it. There doesn't seem to be much strategy to that one. So
agreed.
hopefully they take another look at that. I mean, I got a video coming out where I talk about some of the different game events like um, Guardian Challenge and stuff, and kind of my thoughts on what might make it interesting. So,
Yeah.
but I like the fact that they're mentioned this just a little bit earlier. They're thinking of ways to try and improve things to gain what's the word I'm thinking of? Just to try and drive more engagement from the players. So
Yeah. No, and I think they'll succeed here getting rid of League Mobilization.
yep, yep, I think so. All right, so let's talk about the final topic that we really have to talk about is some of the improvements and stuff that have been made in the game. There's a lot just mentioned. There's a lot of stuff that they're doing in the game. There's a lot of things that have happened in the last few months, and like you mentioned, the game is a very much different game and a more complete game than what we saw back in November and even earlier this year. But there's been some graphics improvements. The Rift looks much better than what it did before. It just looked like this 2D paper copy of the hero, and then you really didn't see anything. Now you have these jets launching off from this runway,
Yeah.
almost like a King Kong style type thing, circling around,
Yep.
whoever the boss is. And so, what do you think? What do you think about some of these? I would say smaller improvements, but I still feel they're improvements that still drive more engagement and are more interesting to watch.
Well, I think it's healthy for the game to have some of these improvements. The you mentioned Umbral Rift. I think the world map has
Yeah.
seen a ton of changes. Like they make a change here, a change there. They've been doing it almost every week. We've seen some sort of visual improvement to the world map system,
Yeah.
and I really like the way they've done it now. You have the full like bat map
Yeah.
on screen, and we've seen the addition of those new crisis response items that you can do. But
The
in
mementos?
general, well, I mean, you got the mementos, but like the crisis responses where it takes like 15
Oh
seconds
yeah.
and you can on the map. But like I really just like if they want us to engage in the world map more, they need to make it look pretty.
Yeah.
And like if you go in to do your infiltrations, that overworld is just leagues better than it was when we first started out.
Yeah.
And they've taken a lot of that and imported it over to Gotham War and Guardian Challenge as well.
Yeah.
So like they want PvP to be kind of the focus of the game. That's
Right.
what they've stated from the beginning. So if you're going to do that, then you need to make sure that when I'm engaging in those modes that I'm actually enjoying myself. And I would say, I give them an A+ for that. We kind of just clowned them a little bit for the league mobilization piece and kind of like some of these hoarding modes, but the overall graphics improvements, A+.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. The more detail, I just flashed up the map, but more detail in the map you were talking about. We mentioned mementos too. Just kind of, I mean, as they're kind of adding these little things, right? We've got these mementos, which are collectibles, which now
yep.
we're completing these different types of these comic books. We can trade now within our is it league or is it even outside our league
I'm not sure outside the league. I know I'm seeing wish lists
or within the
for
league?
folks that actually it's friends because I got some UG3 friends
Okay.
on here. I see. Yeah, looks like anyone in your friends list. I was looking for you. I see Crises and a few others. So
Yeah.
I'll find your wish list item and see if I have it. But yeah, this like I kind of call it. It's like a cross between Pokemon cards
Right.
and NFTs.
Yeah.
It's like worthless NFTs, but like
Yeah.
I really like it. I didn't think I would ever get it, but my wish list was the hyena with the banana suit,
Oh yeah.
and someone sent it to me
Oh
like
fun.
yesterday. So pretty cool. Like I like visually again, they're killing it with this. Like
Yeah.
they kind of like the setup is like comic books, and you open the comic book and there's like collectibles in it or
Yeah.
whatever.
In the different
Um,
comic book panes. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that they
Um,
added something like that. So I know that people. One of the things that I really like doing in mobile games is there something for me to collect? It doesn't have to
yeah.
just be a hero, but is there something cool for me to collect that makes me stand out?
Yeah.
And also I get rewards from it as well, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I want to see more ways to earn the mementos. Right now, you can only do it via the uh, daily quest,
Yeah,
and I think you get four green boxes and one blue box
right.
if you do all 100. Um, and I want to see. I'm assuming there are going to be ways to buy packs, just kind of like well your way through it.
Maybe.
But I want to see other ways to earn them. Like give us rewards for mementos, like I said earlier with maybe it was in my video, I can't remember, but with the world map, like
Yeah,
the new game modes or whatever, give us more ways to earn them. But I think speaking to the visual improvements, they've done some improvements to some of the rooms in the base, like the new like the room that you can earn as part of each monthly event,
right.
like the lounges and things like that. I think those look really cool as well.
Hmm.
And it looks like, I don't know if you want to tee us up on this, but there's a new room coming to the game.
Yeah, there is. So, and we talked about this really quick to wrap up the memento piece, though. One thing I was thinking about as you were talking, it'd be really cool with the new storyline being an overworld map, things like that. That
Yeah.
those could be also collectibles by exploring the map. You find them in kind of
Yeah.
these remote type of areas and collect mementos that way too. I think that'd be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that leads into the new room,
Yeah.
the new trophy room that they announced.
Yeah.
It kind of like all goes together. Like I'm sure some of the mementos will be trophies, and
Right.
then like some of the iconic, like maybe Superman's cape shows up in there, and
Yeah.
just things like that.
Yeah. Speaking of the trophy room, so we knew the trophy room was coming. Even if we didn't know it, we knew it, and the reason why we knew that was there was this room that popped up. I don't think we ever saw it. We never saw it in landscape, but in portrait, but in landscape there was this room that popped up with a dinosaur in the middle of it. Do you guys remember that? I don't know if for those of you who've been around long enough, you probably saw that. I think I commented on it in one of my previous videos. But that room right there might have been the first hint that we were going to have a trophy room, because there was these things on the walls and stuff like that. And then if you saw my interview with Helen, that was brought up there as well. So we had these little hints, and we knew that this was coming. I'm very interested to see how they incorporate this. And is there a way with these different trophies? First off, hopefully it's really cool ways to get trophies. But then, is there a way that you can display it to other players as far as what you collect?
Yeah, I wonder if there's ever going to be a way to visit someone else's base.
I was just thinking that, actually.
That's like, I have DM'd Helen about this multiple times. Like I want to see more of the what's the game, Fallout Shelter.
Oh,
Like more of the Fallout Shelter element, where like you can do more in your base,
right.
and you can customize your base. Like I can move my rooms around. Like what if I wanted to focus on just building stems for a while?
Yep.
So I could pay coins or like whatever, like some currency, to say, hey, I want to like demolish all of my my chip rooms, and I want to build 6 STEM rooms.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how people feel about that, but like me personally, I want like more ways to customize, and I'd love to be able to visit someone else's base and say, hey, oh, this is really cool, or at least the trophy room, right?
Yeah.
Like just like if I go to your profile, I can click on it and like view trophy room.
Yep.
And it shows their specific trophy room. I think that would be really cool.
That would be cool. And people who've been playing this game for a while, and even just new people seeing the game for the first time, they do compare it to Fallout Shelter. We did. That was a question too that I had asked Helen in the interview. Will they allow us to do some reconfiguring of the rooms and things like that? The demolishing I hadn't thought about, but I know that she said technically it's fairly difficult to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll ever get there, but I think it's a great idea, being able to move things around, reconfigure it the way we want it. I mean, it's our hideout. It's our superhero hideout. There, that thing goes again, falling down. It'd be cool to be able to reconfigure it, but yeah, visiting someone else's, just to kind of take a look around and things like that, I think would be really cool as well. Just another way to immerse yourself into the game, not just into the game itself, but hey, I got a buddy over here. He's got some cool stuff going on. Let me go take a look at it. And maybe there's a way to help, maybe help with resources or speed something up, or, things like that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, just even if it's just, here's my trophy room. And you could have your wish list displayed there, like just to have like a visual element to it, where like you can kind of like jump in and kind of see what they have going on. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be freaking phenomenal, I say. All right, that brings us to the end of our topics, man. You have anything you want to say to wrap up, or anything you want to hit on really quick before we call it quits?
I'm really enjoying these podcast episodes. I feel like I'm in my element when we're just kind of like having a chat about the game and just like what we enjoy doing. Sometimes I feel like my videos can be a little stuffy. Like they can kind of be like, here are the facts, here's the information you need to know. And I feel like this is closer to home. Like this is like a friendly conversation. So I really enjoy doing these podcasts. I think we cover a lot of topics by doing it in kind of like, I guess, doing fewer episodes. One thing that I will point out, I know we were hoping to have a special guest on for this episode. We're definitely looking forward to hosting people on the pod in the future. I don't know. Unstable and I will have to talk about this a little bit more. Like if we want to do like a second episode each month to just specifically kind of do like an interview style and just kind of hang out, or if we want to include those guests in these discussions about, kind of like what's going on in the game. But we're excited about like bringing some people on, some of our friends and colleagues. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I just echo Quantum's sentiment there too. Love doing this. It's a lot of fun. Love just kind of just letting our hair down, so to speak, and talk about the game, the good things, the things that are a bit of a challenge, and just kind of our thoughts on where the game's headed. And we always love hearing from all of you, the community. That's one thing that Quantum and I, we share. We love interacting with the community, talking with all of you, getting your thoughts. Even the criticisms are awesome. One of the reasons why I love putting tier lists out is because it drives so much conversation. And it doesn't matter. Yes, there's a lot of people that agree with us in our tier list, but there's also a lot of people that had differing opinions. And I love hearing the differing opinions as well, because it gives us additional insight that we don't have. We all have our own experiences and insights and stuff like that. So sharing that in the comment section of this video, Quantum's video, let us know what you want to hear about as we continue with these podcasts, because it's a lot of fun and we plan on continuing it. So Quantum, thank you so much again for your partnership and your collaboration. I'm having a blast with this, man.
Happy to be here. Really enjoy being part of the podcast and looking forward to what's to come.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, take care. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button here and on Quantum's video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.